Okay, before we begin soldering, we have to set up our soldering station. So you see I have a wet towel in my collection tin there, and I'm wetting my sponge before I begin soldering. The collection tin is just going to collect anything so it doesn't hit the mat. Now I pull my soldering iron out and I'm going to clean it with a wire brush. After I clean it with a wire brush, I'll take a tech wipe, just wipe it clean. And before I stow it, I am going to season it or tin it. And I'm just loading the tip up with a lot of solder to save it from oxidation. And now I'm going to demonstrate just the basic stripping of a cable. That's a very small gauge cable I have right there. And you always want to take the bigger setting on your stripper and work your way smaller so you avoid cutting into your center conductor. And you can twist the wires back into shape, but you don't want to twist them too much. If you twist them too much, you'll end up changing the diameter of that center conductor. And now I'm just going to strip a bigger wire so you can see the difference. The center conductor of this wire is significantly larger than the last. And you want to give it a little twist to make sure it cuts through all the outer jacket. And there you go, stripped cable. Now I'm going to demonstrate tinning the center conductor of this RG13 cable. Depending on what you're making, you want to tin the center conductor so that it holds all of the strands of that center conductor together. It turns those individual strands of that center conductor into one solid piece. And I just put some flux on there. Flux helps conduct the heat with solder, and the solder is going to flow in the direction where heat is conducted. So it's going to give us a nice smooth flow of solder. So I picked up my soldering iron, cleaned it off, thermally shocked the tip on a wet sponge, tinned my soldering iron tip with a little bit of solder, and now with the soldering iron, the piece of solder, and the center conductor, I'm going to create what's called a heat bridge. With all three things touching together, the solder will flow right down that center conductor. Before I stow my soldering iron again, I'll tin the tip again to protect it from oxidation. These tips will go bad very quickly if we don't stow them correctly. Now I'm going to use some isopropyl alcohol and an acid brush to clean off all the sticky residue left behind by that burnt flux. That's going to give us a nice shiny finish and a nice clean center conductor. There you go.